6 years ago, I gave up drinking alcohol. I can honestly say that it was the best decision I have ever made. Alcohol dependency was destroying my relationships, my happiness, and my mental health. I'm meeting some amazing women who have all made the decision to cut alcohol out of their lives. They range in age from 25 to 66, which just goes to show it's never too early and it's never too late.
Africa, if you can just tell us a little bit about when you decided that you needed to become sober.
I knew that something had to change. I wasn't happy. My self-esteem was very low. I didn't accept myself, and alcohol wasn't making that any better. Now, when I look back to then compared to what my life is like now, I'm able to live in clarity, which is the biggest thing for me. I'm able to have fun and remember it. I'm able to build honest relationships with people, and for those reasons, sobriety is what works for me.
What was it that made you step up and think, right, okay, this has really gone too far, it's out of control?
I was 35 when I decided to stop drinking. The catalyst was waking up in hospital without any memory at all of getting there, covered in my own sick. I made the decision there and then to never drink again, and that was 7 years ago. I'd been a binge drinker since I was 13. Heavy drinking destroyed whatever self-esteem I did have. Life is an adventure now. I can't wait to see where I'll end up, whereas previously when I drank, I was terrified about where I'd end up.
June, can you just tell us what it was that was the final straw for you?
Retirement was a big thing for me, actually. I lost a lot of my friends, felt a little bit isolated. So I was drinking earlier in the day.
Tell us the story about the gin.
I was actually filling up the gin bottle in the fridge with water. We had friends round for dinner. My husband said, would anyone like a glass of gin and tonic? And I thought, the gin bottle is full of water. I knew that it wasn't normal. I had a problem and I had to address that problem. I don't ever want to go back to how it was before. I'm 66 and I just think life is good.
They were three incredible women. I mean, we talked for hours, you know, to try and get down to that sort of, to get the main bullet points in. And what was so great about those women is that they were, you know, three completely different ages, three completely different reasons as to why they had become dependent on alcohol and how they had ultimately given up. I mean, Africa, the beautiful young girl there who's 25, I mean, you know, her story is incredible. You know, you see all these young girls who live their lives through social media and stuff. She had incredible crippling anxiety and self-esteem problems. You look at her and think, oh my God, you had self-esteem problems, you're like a supermodel. And so for her to decide at 25 years old that that alcohol was ruining her life. And I think that's the thing with giving up for good is, you know, a lot of people say to me, oh God, I know I should give up drinking and stuff. And it's like, you don't know how far down the line I was. Sure. You know, how it was a constant battle every day. That's why I had to give up for good and not just, which you're doing a brilliant job, I hear.
Well,
for
I'm
January.
not actually missing it that much, Denise, but to be honest, we've just moved house and we're not really socialising as much. And this is where I think, in this country in particular, there is that problem. You go out and then you say, oh, no, it's fine, I don't want a drink, I'll just have a Diet Coke, I'll just have whatever, you know, or a water. And people go, oh, come on, don't be boring. Have a drink, have a drink, have a drink. Boring. And it's like forcing
Absolutely.
you. People do that. They know
talking to those girls who are from Lucy, the girl in the middle, she's in her 40s. She set up Soberistas. Right. So that obviously there are many ways and many organisations for those who want to have help giving up alcohol. But she felt that there was a gap in the market for people like her. Yeah. And she set up Soberistas, which has now become quite global. And all these great friendships. And they're all going, some of them are going off to Canada and the Canadians are coming over here. And of course, they all go out. And I said, what would be great would be to film a Soberistas party because it's hilarious, you know, hilarious.
Everybody think they're all sitting there like...
that you're all sitting with a cup of tea not talking.
I know.
My true friends say that I am more fun now that I've taken alcohol out of my life. You just have to, you adapt your social life. Yeah. I used to have FOMO, which was the fear of missing out, and now Lincoln and I have JOMO, which is the joy of missing out. We go, no, we're fine. If you're full at that party, you don't have to invite us. You're absolutely fine. Thank you very much.
We'll just stay in and watch the telly.
So we go to the party and we go to the dinner, but when our friends start to tell us the same story 14 times, that's when we leave. And usually, by the time you've left, nobody can remember after that time anyway.
I know. And it was the fact that, you know, I mean, Lincoln said to you, come on, you have to get yourself sorted out.
Well, it wasn't. It was me first. You know, Lincoln and I met, and we met in a bit of a sort of tabloid flurry and things were pretty tough, and I was in a very dark place for my own reasons, and Lincoln was a functioning alcoholic for his own reasons. So the fact that we got together was quite incredible at the time, but we realised that we had a wonderful, wonderful relationship, and the only time it was being destroyed was when we used alcohol.
Right.
And so I gave Lincoln an ultimatum first, and his fear of losing me was so great that he stopped. I remember I was touring in the show Steel Magnolias, and I didn't think I had as much of a problem, because I was able to not drink some nights because I was going on stage the next day. And 2 months later, I went to a function after the show, and I said to Lincoln, if I get drunk, will you tell me? And he said to me, darling, you're getting drunk and the paps are taking photos through the window. I knew that I'd lose him unless I went on the same path. And it's been I get quite emotional talking about it, because
surprised.
I wish my mum was still... My one thing is that I wish my mum was here to see my sober life, you know. But she was alive for 3 weeks after I'd given up, so I feel that she went knowing that I was on the right path. But, you know, what we've achieved professionally and personally since we stopped, and
amazing.
The ripple effect on the family and the people who love us is incredible. It impacts the whole family, and life is just a much better place to be.
It shows you you don't need it, but you've done remarkably well, because it's hard.
Thank you.
It's really tough.
It can be very hard, you know, and obviously, you know...
It's good you've got each other.
We have each other, and there are women like the Soberistas as well, and there is so much support out there, and there's so many people realising that you don't have to have a drink to have a good time. No. It's you know, sober life is just... is a great place for me, because when you start having blackouts and you wake up and you don't know where you've been and what you've said and what you've done, and when you're a mother of 2 children, there's a lot of shame attached to that, and that's something that I have to deal with and work through. But, you know, the life now that it provides for my children, knowing that mum is sober and happy, is impacting on their lives hugely. Yeah.